The twist has been finally revealed. Let's see its consequences. What's up, guys? I'm Hunter, and here to do a breakdown / live reaction review to chapter 139 of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, which is known as Chris or Chris, or I have no idea how to pronounce his name. All right, I have no idea. All right, we aren't going to see this guy in the anime for like another 10 years. All right, so we have no idea. And by we I mean me. I would say Chris. Chris rolls off the tongue better. Chris the blacksmith. I am intrigued. Naturally, Chris is presumably a guerrilla warrior who Sign was spending all this time looking for. The man disappeared for the entire manga, or it felt like the entire manga, in order to find this man. And now that he's finally found him, he's an enemy, and an enemy of great power and danger. So I'm excited to see how it's about to go down. So let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into it. Heading me. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact. Have I glazed it in depth yet? I don't think I have. Let me take this cover page to glaze the Frieren art style a little bit. In fact, hold on. Let me see. Is this? Are you in here? Nope. That's the new channel art book. Let me see. Are you in here? Maybe. I don't think so. Because I think that's... Oh, man. Well, maybe it is. Because I remember I did this on channel. Let me see if I can find it. But essentially, the Frieren art style is really, really good because of how soft it is. And maybe like, what on earth does that mean, Pencil Man? And allow me to elaborate. So, typically, a lot of art style... Gosh darn, where is it? Where is it? Gosh darn it. And the Marvel Rivals is a good example. I'm sorry, I just looked past one of my Marvel Rivals drawings. But where are you? I'm pretty sure you're in here. But essentially, a lot of art styles are very hard in their line art and line work, and specifically how they draw their characters. It's to make them look a lot sharper and more well-defined. And speaking of well-defined, I don't think I can well-define the darn image that I drew to reference the two differences between like my art style and the Frieren art style. Is it serious? I could have sworn it was somewhere. Wait, I think right here, please show up, please. I'm begging you. Nope. Oh, this is not. There we go. Hallelujah. So, what I love about this, look at the softness on the hair. And this is obviously from light reflection. Presumably the light source coming from here. But even the softness and the roundness of it, the roundness of the cloak, the roundness of even the sharper edges. They all have this like nice gentle flow to them. Even the sharp angular blade, right? Like a blade that looks like it should be hard rectangles, even has a softness to it. The points, everything is very, very round. It's very smooth. It's very flowing. It is like a story, like a fairy tale. And notably, ignore the bottom piece, but this, and really, I was rushing when I did this because I initially did this one. This is my dumb little Frieren OC. And this is me attempting to replicate him in the Frieren art style versus my own rushed art style. And you can see the differences. It's just generally softer and rounder, and it allows for a more like almost, it's weird to say like approachable art style, but also it allows for, ironically enough, more character definition. The only critique I've ever had for the art style is that sometimes I feel like the faces are a little bit too small for the scale of the rest of the face. Like notably, I feel like sometimes the eyes, the nose, and the mouth are like a little bit too scrunched in, or even sometimes a little bit too wide apart for some of the characters. But other than that, this art style is gorgeous. And this is a perfect example of that. And I love all the different details, from the light being in the upper right hand causing the fade on the hair, to the darkness of the cloak being reflected by the blade facing this way, and the different levels of the blade, all the different details and the different whites that show the reflecting off the seemingly enough leather coat. It's beautiful. But let's not, enough glazing. Let's hop right into chapter 139, Chris the blacksmith. Lord have its mercy. What are these? I just had to buy them. Say meow for me. You know, I won't even question where Ubel had the time to do that. I won't even begin to bother to wonder. Let's see. Miss Ubel? What? Could you fill me in on the details of your fight with the Special Magic Forces? Mistress Frieren sent me to ask you about it. Why did she not come in to ask herself? Bored, I'm guessing? Bored, probably. Let's see. Oh, but the old Four Eyes already told everyone about it earlier. But presumably you would be better at detailing the combat specificity of it. She said she wanted to hear about it from your perspective. Because honestly, I would say, it's weird to say this, I would 100% agree that Frieren has a more Ubel-based fighting style than she does Land. And thusly, hearing it from her perspective would probably help Frieren more than hearing it from Land's perspective. Just based on how the two fight and how they approach combat. And I know that seems strange considering Land is a very staunch traditionalist, but he just approaches battles differently than I say Ubel, Fern, and Frieren all do. Ultimately, they have a much more active and engaged fighting style, even if they do seem defensive at first. Remember, the big perk of Fern is her casting speed, how fast she attacks, and how potent the quick speed of her attacks are. Frieren has the overwhelming power and the precision that is natural to an extremely skilled mage, but still, she's also very direct. We see this when she's fighting Solitar. Or is it Solitar? Solitaire? Solita? I'm not sure. But essentially the Nameless Great Demon, or not the Nameless Great Demon. What was her title? It wasn't the Nameless Great Demon. It was like the Unknown Great Demon, essentially. Where Frieren, she didn't really, like, she was just going band for band, bomb for bomb, boom for boom. Like, she really is like that, for real. So ultimately, hearing it from her perspective does help. Let's see. Also, she was wondering if you heard anything like the buzzing of winged insects. Oh, intriguing. Interesting. That explains the strange feeling I had. My intuition wasn't wrong after all. Ah, interesting. So that's what those were, insects. Still, I couldn't sense any mana for quite some time, and I was blinded, so it was rough to say the very least. Ubel is a very interesting. I'm interested to see her story in the long run. Especially considering I am, and it looks like a lot of us, just generally, at least from the polls I read, it looks like a lot of us are convinced some sort of war arc is happening. Like, if not a war arc, some sort of great conflict is coming. Let's see. I doubt that understanding how those tricks work will change how threatening they are, though. Well, if you can counteract them once you understand them, I think that will help. Let's see. But fine. Where do I start? So I visited Four Eyes in his village to accept the mission. Please keep it short. Hey, every detail helps. You never know. Let's see. Aw, it's been so long. Can't we have a chat? These two were on the same team. Who was their third? It was Ubel. Because I know they were fighting Verbal. Who was their third on their team? Was it Land? Am I tweeting? I think it may have been. Hold on, let me see. I need to reread Frieren, which is crazy because I think I recently reread it. But let's see. It's been so long. Can't we have a chat? Oh, okay. So this is dark. We're over to this group now. All right. So, are these sketches of the Shadow Warriors all we have to go on? The Imperial capital is huge. I mean, they're pretty good sketches though. I ain't gonna lie. But besides, we already had one fight, and the ball is tomorrow. Won't they just lie low until then? I wouldn't. I don't want you to gather your resources. Especially, like, the biggest issue is that Serie's here now, right? And as many people pointed out, she is just like a god. Ultimately, the main reason she may have not been perturbed at all by the death of Minus is literally because Minus was nothing to her. We don't, and once again, of the three great mages of the mystical era, we don't know if that was even referring to Serie being part of that group. That could be, like, Minus, Frieren, and somebody else, some other elf, because we keep getting introduced to random elves. Heck, we still don't even know what era Craft is from. That man is ancient. He's even more ancient than Frieren, to the point where Frieren doesn't recognize him. Or is a tragedy they help defend against. It's like, genuinely, it's completely up in the air on whether or not Serie even views herself in the same, like, realm or field as the rest of the high-level elven mages. So even if they have so much confidence in that one guy, the guy who's playing a lord, they are probably all going to be focused on Serie. So ultimately, taking out another great mage like Frieren, or especially her party that could support her, it'd probably be better to do before the ball, for efficiency's sake. Because they probably don't want to run smoke extensively, if I had to hazard a guess. Let's see. Lie low until then? Silent the censor. She gave us this order. It's much better to try than to do nothing. Preventing the assassination from even happening would be best. Yeah. But here's what, actually, no, it's fine here. Sometimes. It's Frieren's, ironically enough. Frieren. No, it is Frieren. It's Frieren. I'll correct it to Frieren. I used to say Frieren, but it's Frieren. But she's usually the guilty one of the small face syndrome. But it's so far so good for now. But let's see. But to be honest, I also don't think we can find them. For better or worse, the final showdown will be at the ball. The only clue we have is her mana, but we had no luck detecting it again. Probably because she suppressed it to oblivion. Like, I would, like, especially once I knew who I was hunting, and then by proxy was hunting me back. Like, I'm sorry, you mean to tell me who? Who of the what party wants what to do with me? No, like, there's no way. Like, the only time it'd be relaxed somewhere, I was like, oh, if Himmel was still alive, or if Heder was still alive, I'd still probably be very, very worried if if the main man Ison was still rolling up, because, you know, he's older now, but still, he's a monster. But still, Frieren? You mean the only elf from the Heroes Party or the only member of the Hero Parties that's still in their prime, if not stronger? And then with my head, yeah, I wouldn't let my magic eke out for a second. I probably wouldn't sleep. Let's see. No look, detecting it again. If only Fern had been able to track it down afterward. I don't blame her, though. Yeah, it's just not, it's not safe. I think that would have been a really bad time to start smoking. In fact, they're lucky, Fern is lucky that he allowed her to escape or leave. Because honestly, seeing a mage fire, because presumably he saw her fire, like, that would have easily enough been grounds to be like, well, gotta arrest it. But he was chill, Let's see. We were interrupted much earlier than we expected. We also don't know where the magic special forces stand in all this. But Fern made a smart call to flee before they could capture her. Okay, so wow. So Fern legit just she flew out of there. I don't blame her though. Like, and notably, that's extra smart because she had no context for him. They're only just now finding out that Land and Ubel were attacked by them. So she did very, very good to immediately avoid any more further conflict, even though she had another objective that she could have flown to. Very smart girlfriend. I'm glad that Frieren's calming of her worked. Considering, I think if she was even slightly less cool-headed, if she had gone out immediately like she had planned to, she probably would have gotten herself captured. But see, they're not the kind of people you should face head-on. Which is crazy. Like, honestly, every single one of the Empire's resources, and it makes so much sense, right? They're the superpower on the continent. Next to the Continental Magic Association, who's mainly superpower because of Serie. But it makes sense that every single organization run by the Empire is extremely dangerous. To the point where a mage is as powerful as Frieren, as Fern, and a warrior as powerful as Stark, and a priest as powerful as Sign are like, maybe we shouldn't run smoke, at least not too directly. Let's see. Fern is getting more detailed information now, and once that's done, let's head out to search for the Shadow Warriors. That may be a mistake, because y'all may get jumped. Like, once again, especially considering what they talked about last chapter for the Shadow Warriors, they are not affiliated with the Empire directly. They're affiliated with the idea of the Empire, specifically their idea of the Empire. So ultimately, if they run into you, they'd be like, should we just jump you? Like, sure, like, honestly, sure, they probably, the reason it's a 50-50, right, is maybe they really do want to save all their manpower for Serie. Maybe they don't have too much faith in that Lord guy, and are like, we will throw all our resources at her. But dare I say, knowing that Frieren's here and having the opportunity to slaughter her may be worth sacking Serie. Maybe worth it. You may want to wait until the next one, because taking Frieren off the map before she can get any more powerful and become any more of a dangerous, liable asset, that may be a fair trade-off. So I'd be careful with hunting them down, because presumably you will get jumped. Let's see. Search for the Shadow Warriors. Sure is taking a while. Oh, they seem to get along well. if only you knew. But maybe they do. Let's see. Oh, where's Sign, by the way? He already left. He's much more invested in this than we are. Oh, I bet he is. Oh, right. Of course he is. Oh, so okay, good. So at the end of last chapter, I thought Stark didn't notice or realize why Sign was looking more concerned. But no, he understands. He recognizes, oh, that looks like a guerrilla warrior who Sign has been hunting down. So it makes perfect sense that he's the most invested. Let's see. Sign, what you got? Darn it. Where on earth are you? It's entirely possible that he may have... Oh, I agree. But he may be actively avoiding Sign. Like, he may have seen him and then, like, eyes widened and dipped. Let's see. Darn it. Where on earth are you? Grease. Close the shop for today. Why should I? I need to make a living too. Because of your darn Shadow Warrior mission. Now it's my responsibility to deal with my sister, who spends every penny she earns on booze. Nobody wants to look after her because it costs so much money.
I like him already. I like the cut of his jib.
Let's see.
When it comes to swordsmanship, Shrit is one of the top 5, even in the Empire.
Oh, so she built... Okay, so Shrit versus Stark. Make it happen right now. Okay, but let's see.
Even in the Empire. So you do know her well. That's exactly the point. I mean, she's not going to die. She'll only survive tomorrow's mission, too. You understand, don't you? Now leave. Mind your own business.
But once again, I like that. I like how we're now building more and more and more. In previous interactions that didn't necessarily make too much sense, with the context of last chapter, are really starting to build up on top of each other. There doesn't necessarily seem to be any sort of direct order or camaraderie, and there never did seem to be. Like, sure, the Shadow Warriors all met, but considering one's a drunkard, considering the one, heck, Kreese didn't even show up that one time, we just had the hint that it was him. Like, there's clearly this disorganized nature to the Shadow Warriors as a whole, and obviously the lack of coordination was always hinted at before, but now it's being built on top of each other, and I like that. I like seeing how complicated the mess is, even within the Empire, which I will admit, gives the Continental Magic Association a chance in the first place. If there was any sort of unity between the Magic Special Forces and a cohesive unity to the Shadow Warriors, they'd be cooked. Serie, oh no, sir, I think they'd be cooked. Because that'd be the full might of the Empire working together to quash them all. But with the fact that there's disorganization, and with the fact that last chapter it was set up that the Magic Special Forces are more than willing to give back shots to the Shadow Warriors if they do bother to show their faces, it could get tragic, possibly without a new paddock. Let's see.
Mind your own business. I met a young man who was looking for you. Oh, is that so? Hope you got rid of him.
Oh, darn! So I wonder if he remembers sign. Let's see.
He was a priest with a goatee.
Uh-oh. He was immediately went from, oh, we got rid of him to, wait a minute. I love that, though. You know, you gotta stand on business for your homies, though. And look at that. Where before, he was hammering stuff in, he was still working, he was focused. He very specifically was like, he had half a back turn. He's turning his neck to engage. The instant that Werlo says, he was a priest with a goatee, instantly drops everything, turns like,
did you kill him?
I will give you back shots, old man. Right over this blacksmithing table. Trust me, I will. Let's see.
Did you kill him? No, there were people around. Besides, he seems wholeheartedly to believe that you're an eccentric who calls himself Guerrilla Warrior. Even that, he'll never find what he's looking for.
So Guerrilla Warrior. So that's the thing. The real question is, what happened? What caused it? What changed from I want everyone to know my name and remember me, I am Guerrilla Warrior, you shall know my wrath, to Shadow Warrior, servant of the Empire? What happened along his journey that led him to this point? Is it debt? Did he just give up? Was he humbled by somebody? Was he humbled by Craft? Like, I don't know. I want more Craft content, if only for the fact that he's like the only male elf we've ever seen with like a name and any sort of history. And obviously he has ties. He's the, next to Serie, I think he's our oldest living character, I'd say. Right? Right? Am I tweaking when I say that? No, I think he is. He is, next to Serie. We just don't know who's older. Because we know ultimately Frieren doesn't even recognize him and doesn't know what he's supposedly worked against. Remember, it was him who worked with the guy who also looked like a little warrior from who knows how long ago, in that one statue in that one village far, far away, long, long ago. So, like, it's Craft and Serie that I think are our oldest two living characters, considering Frieren doesn't even know anything about Craft. So, it's very interesting. I am interested to see more of that plot line, if it ever happens. Let's see.
Even that, he'll never find what he's looking for. Even I must admit, it's a ridiculous name. I was right to abandon it after all.
So okay, so that does quash one thing. In my heart of hearts, I was actually a little scared that it was just going to be a lookalike scenario, especially after we saw that statue of the guy who looked like Guerrilla Warrior. I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be like another descendant of his, possibly, maybe, but no. This is wholeheartedly Guerrilla Warrior himself. So what happened, gang? What happened? Oh, let's see.
Won't it be difficult to find him without at least knowing his real name? I can't believe a grown man would use such a silly name like Guerrilla Warrior.
Silly name, huh? Indeed. What a ridiculous name. He said if you want to become a hero that no one will forget, it's crucial to have a memorable name. He'd get mad if I called him anything else. He said he'd be forgotten if I did. What a silly obsession. What a childish idea. You know what? Ironically, I forgot his real name. Defeats the purpose, huh? Anyway, the man I'm looking for is the Guerrilla Warrior. If he gave up on his dream and he's living a happy life somewhere, that's also fine by me.
Oh, he gave up on his dream, but I wouldn't say he's living a happy life somewhere. He's living. He's alive, at least. That's good news, but yeah. I mean, and it's true, right? The to be remembered. I want to sit here and say that there will be some names that will never be lost to history, but like, probably there will be. Probably some. As time goes on. Like, well, obviously, once the last human dies, nothing. But in terms of, like, as long as humanity is alive and thriving, I want to believe there are some names that survive. And I definitely understand, right? Because your name is sort of the culmination of who you are. Which is funny, because there are people who share the exact same name, down like first and last, and sometimes even middle. I met two people with the exact same full names, and I'm like, oh. But still, your name and what it means when people hear of it and they think of you, that's still very, very important. If anything, it's the one way to truly be immortal. You can have been gone for literally over 200 years and people still remember your name and all the importance that comes with it. Like, for the Americans, my fellow Americans out there, George Washington. You just hear that name and you know everything it does. You look at the dollar bill, you know what it does. Like, it's just there. It's going to stick there for as long as America's there. But that's what kind of sort of immortality. Rick Riordan does an interesting thing with it in Trials of Apollo with, I believe, the Roman Emperor Caligula. And one of the things is he's basically immortal. He became a minor deity purely by memory, by being exalted as this supreme being in a way. He was risen to the idea of immortality and superiority simply by being remembered. And there's obviously Axel from Kingdom Hearts, who revealed back in Birth by Sleep that ultimately the reason he always says got it memorized and he wants everyone to know who he is because that's also his own version of a twisted immortality. Well, not twisted necessarily, but still a version of immortality. Simply being is what allows him to be. And I think it's beautiful in a way, but it's also sad because even those with names even crazier than Guerrilla Warrior will eventually fade. Even the Heroes Party once again fade from existence. It only took, I say only, but it only took 1,000 years for any likeness of Flame to be wiped from the minds of human memory. Now she's remembered as some big beefy old man. So things always fade away. What's it?
It's also fine by me. But if he still goes by that name, I need to find him. I swore we'd become unforgettable heroes together.
Preposterous.
Right? By the way, call me Goatee Priest.
I didn't ask your name. That man called himself Goatee Priest. Maybe he was joking, but I clearly remember that.
Well, okay, interesting. So once it was confirmed that he was left alive, Kreese or Guerrilla Warrior immediately backed off. He's like, all right, fine, as long as he's living too. So ultimately, while Sign decided to look for him, it doesn't look like Kreese fully gave up on the idea of meeting him again. At least somewhat. Let's see.
Why are you telling me this? According to the Wolf's report, he's a priest in Frieren's party. He's been added to the list. We'll have to take him down next time. Again, why are you telling me this? Do you want me to beg you not to? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you can tell. Obviously, he's gotten a lot colder, and he clearly gave up on the hero's life. Why? We'll find out eventually, presumably. But still, Werlos wanted to be the one to tell him since he met him. And clearly, he does. I think he does share some sort of, like, not affection, but at least respect and thankfulness to Sign. So he figured the best thing to do was at least inform Guerrilla Warrior, inform Kreese, or whatever he goes by now. Well, Kreese presumably has the fake name, but I wonder, like, what else is he known by? But he wanted to at least let him know, hey, if you find one of us having the body of your friend on the end of our blades, here's why. Let me let you know before you have to find out from someone who's not going to deliver it as kindly.
It's a kindness from Werlos, admittedly. A twisted kindness, but the only kindness that he can really offer another one of his kin. Or another one of his kind. What's it? Here, Lore, dig in. Lore? Oh, the nun. Here, Lore, dig in.
A whole sandwich? Why is that a magical suppressing cloak?
You weren't kidding about her staying under the comforter. So funny. Are you scared? Do you need someone to hold your hand? Can you blame her? Sister Lore is great at taking charge in a fight, and she's never been directly exposed to enemy attack before. I honestly couldn't believe it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, right? Like, imagine you're so good at your craft that you have never had to experience danger before, and then you get shot. And, like, notably, look at this. If it was 2 inches to the left, she's dead. 2 like that beam is huge. That's her torso. If she had angled that bit, if she had angled that bad boy, angled that bit one way to the back, cooked, dead. So I don't blame her. Remain genuinely terrified. Let's see.
But they took her out with a single shot, right? She's not dead, so she got off easy. Once, when I screwed up in the past, the enemy tore off every single one of my fingernails, as if I would really give them the location of the others in my party. The commander at the time was Clematis. He came to help me as soon as possible and healed me up.
Oh, yeah. So hey, at least you know Lore is loyal, or at least you know fingernails ain't enough. Rip over toenails next. Let's see.
But guess what that jerk said afterwards?
Good. You should be able to hold a weapon again. Return to the front immediately.
Well, yeah. Okay, so I wonder if Clematis, the commander at the time, so I wonder if he's their overarching commander for that specific little group. Presumably. Let's see.
He's crazy, no doubt. He heals us as if he's fixing golems. He didn't care that I was crying from the pain.
Okay, so that's clearly before her development, because now she's apparently immune to all toxins. Let's see. She's like, gently being like, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we're traumatized. I never can. That's a nice. Let's see.
What? Stop that.
And she's still legit hiding under the comforter. Wow.
And that's why I think Lore made the right choice, not getting out of bed. Otherwise, Clematis would throw her right back into the battle as many times as he needs to. To him, we're just pawns for completing missions.
I mean, like he's a terrible person, but I mean, he about that though. I'll admit he's interesting. I wonder. So I'm assuming it's him and the Lord guy who are both the leaders of this little faction. I wonder if we're gonna run into any other Shadow Warriors. Like presumably we've been introduced to the full group of them, right? In that one chapter previously. Now that we have Kreese, we have everybody. But I wouldn't be shocked if there are multiple factions. I highly doubt this is the only group. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are more that our crew doesn't even know about that show up, including ones that not even the mage who got them that information knew about, because they're clearly not very well connected. Let's see.
Iris, how's Sister Lore doing? Did she seem well enough to return?
Oh, nah, she's out. She'd be completely useless.
Ah, I see. Well, at least we managed to get some reports on the actual fight. I'll have to make a new strategy.
Interesting. Who's he playing chess against? Himself? No. He's playing chess against the Lord. Yeah, that makes sense. What I just say. Well,
by the way, Iris.
What?
What about my dinner?
What about it? You can starve to death.
Okay, so she still holds a grudge. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Especially like there doesn't seem to be some solid chain of command, so she can talk however she wants.
Are you sure? You'll be the only commander if there's a fight. I may sacrifice as many pawns as are necessary in order to win, but that doesn't mean I can tolerate wasting a life. I have no intention of taking anyone along who would slow down the rest of us in battle.
That is a smart move. I can't blame him. You don't want to take a broken leg, even if it is clearly not broken.
I've trained Lore with the expectation that she will become my successor. I believe it was good for her to experience this loss.
Oh, interesting. So Lore is up next. She may not be the best leader. Let's see.
She's a clever girl, though not as clever as I was when I was young. But I'm sure she can clean up the mess after this mission. So, I am at ease with sending myself to death as a pawn.
Oh, okay. So at least he's a commander. He's one of them. Well, he's saying that he is. He's a commander that's willing to die. He's an Erwin Smith, if anything. Which, ironically enough, he does kind of have a similar design. Let's see.
How many will die? If there's something you're not happy with, you can take the lead directly, as the Shadow Warrior Commander yourself. Isn't that right, Governor General Lowe? Commander, you must know that's just a name only.
In the end, I'm nothing more than an uneducated warrior, skilled only in murder. I'm simply another pawn.
But a pawn in whose game? Are you still truly a pawn in his game? I don't buy it.
Let's see. May I ask why Serie must be assassinated?
Because she's a threat beyond comprehension. See, I don't like from a logistics standpoint. I do not blame the Empire for wanting to get rid of Serie. And you may be like, "Whoa, Pencil, don't you want her to live?" Absolutely, but like, imagine there was a person just walking around who could destroy a nation, an entire nation, if they had the motivation. If they just felt like it one day, they could turn around and wipe a country off the map. Serie could do it. The way they've hyped her up, and the way that Mocked has been described, and the way that Mocked was going to fight her, and said they had no issues with fighting that man. I was like, yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna whoop him. And the way that Frieren has been hyped up and shown how powerful he is. Like, remember, if you go by the anime, Frieren's clone just made a black hole that she hard counted. Like, that's just the thing. And Frieren is clearly not in the same tier as Serie. I'm confident in saying there's like a whole 2 tiers between what Frieren's at and what Serie's at. And notably, Frieren is a person who is capable of battle, but doesn't live for it. Serie, the one critique that Flame had for Serie all those years ago was, there's a reason the Demon King will always live as long as you're around. You are a being who thrives in conflict. So Serie is all about that smoke. So truly, the Empire is worried for its own safety. At any moment, if Serie feels displeased with it, she could probably just, obviously not that easily, but still, she could do it. So I get it. But at the same time, I understand why he's worried about it, because not only will it cost a whole bunch of pawns, but also it'd be really difficult, and so far it hasn't done anything yet. Let's see.
Why? May I ask why Serie must be assassinated? Do you need a reason to accomplish the mission? If I know your goal, I may be able to help you achieve it.
Well, the assassination of Serie is the goal, right? Let's see.
Your Excellency.
Hand on the chin, things.
Our goal is to extinguish magic from this world.
Interesting. That's an interesting idea. Extinguish magic from this world. All right. So taking out Serie, the pinnacle of magic, and then just working your way down from there. Interesting. And I suppose because the Shadow Warriors themselves, none of them are. Well, Lone is a mage, and well, technically they're priests, but still, I guess I think about it, we haven't necessarily seen a mage Shadow Warrior. They've all been about the physical hands, but you'll have to do more than just slay Serie. You're gonna have to fight the entire magical special forces. Let's see.
You couldn't find him then. It's not your fault. The Imperial capital is big, after all. Frieren, you're planning on going undercover at the ball, right? As Serie's bodyguards, yes.
Oh, you're all.
Please, let me join you.
So I think even he. Well, yeah, he knows, because he saw the poster. Let's see.
Please, let me join you.
Sure. It'll be reassuring to have a priest by our side. Not just a priest, the best priest. Let's see.
I'll assist you in any way I can. So
I'm sorry. I can't make any promises. Neither the Shadow Warriors nor the Magic Special Forces are the kind of opponents I can go easy on. I may have to kill them. So she knows. Okay, I wonder if Stark told her, if she just knew, if she remembered when she saw the picture. But she's like, BT Dubs, I will give your friend back shots if he tries to attack. But hey, I don't blame. At least once again, just like Werlos came and warned Guerrilla Warrior, hey, you're probably gonna see him when you go to fight. You have to put a blade in his gut. Be ready to. Frieren was warning him, hey, I know you feel bad about it, but if it's me or him, it's gonna be me. And I don't blame Frieren for being like that. And notably, she's probably also doing this to warn Sign, you need to be on that kind of motion too. Are kinds of opponents I can go easy on. I may have to kill them. To me, the lives of Stark and Fern are more important. Aww, like a good mother. So I cannot and will not hold back. I mean, presumably, considering there are going to be other innocents there, I highly doubt she's going to, like, randomly, like, once again, going by anime only. We aren't going to see Frieren randomly open her palm and there's going to be a black hole there. But we're gonna see Frieren possibly pull out new spells, get demons to the bag. We could possibly, I mean, it really depends on how much force Serie decides she wants to use and how much she cares about the people around her, right? Because once again, I am fully confident that Serie at any moment could just, like, mutter a spell that blows up the entire building. I wouldn't be shocked. Heck, we saw Ubel use Raiso then. Rail Zayden. I remember hearing it in the English stuff. Rail Zayden. She used that to slice an entire building apart with one cast. That's Ubel. Like, can you imagine what Serie could do if she really felt like it? And of course, she probably won't go anything too crazy. That's the blessing and the curse of having the bodyguards there, because she doesn't want to slaughter her own students. She clearly cares for them, or her own subordinates. But still, I could see either of the elven mages going absolutely absurd if provoked. If the bear is poked, I think they'll fight back. Let's see. But I'll do everything in my power to bring the best outcome possible. So ultimately, she's like, I'll try to not give your friend back shots, but he'll get them if he wants them. Let's see.
Oh, thank you. That's all I can ask. I was a little surprised since you told me you didn't sign up for this mission. You seem more involved than I thought.
She didn't have a choice in the matter, because Frieren. Let's see.
To be honest, I didn't care about the assassination plot against Serie, and I think the smart thing would be to get out of a risky mission like this. Still, this...
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Ultimately, it's all for the sake of the Empire as well, which is for the sake of Flame.
Still, this land is my master's legacy. The monuments to her life have mostly become empty symbols.
The false grimoires and the poor statues.
But this land is where anyone can use magic. A very real thing my master left for us.
So, interesting. So, the Shadow Warriors, so at least him specifically, the Shadow Warriors want to destroy what the Empire is. So, they aren't even, like, aligned with the Empire as an ideal. In fact, they're directly opposed to it. Very interesting. Let's see.
A very real thing my master left for us. That's why I'll do my best to see this through to a good outcome. I have a feeling Serie won't do the same. She's here to fight.
And that's what I was like, I need to say it. I can't wait but that's the thing. If, like, Serie's even a fraction of how powerful he's hyped up to be, no one here is going to be a threat. She's going to one-shot everybody. I need them to be hiding a high-level demon. I need a Shadow Warrior to be, like, some crazy cracked next-level demon or something like that. Like, honestly, that's the one thing I'm interested in. Especially considering we're traveling, the overarching story is still to travel to the Demon King's land to go see heaven, quote-unquote. I do wonder if we're ever going to have to deal with another Demon King candidate. Right? Like, we already slain Mok in the 7 Stages of Destruction. And apparently the strongest of them. We don't know where the one guy is. The old demon who fought Ison in the past, or in the altered past. We don't know where he is. But Solitar's dead. Mok is dead. Orv's dead. And I know a couple more of the sages are dead. So I don't even know if there's a powerful demon left. I want to see one, though. I need to see Serie go all out.
She's here to fight. Speak of the devil, she's trying to stir something up as we speak.
What you doing, Serie?
Sheesh, you're always itching for a fight. You didn't need to do something like that just to tell me I'm immature.
Wait, what'd you do? Let's see. Frieren?
That wasn't very fruitful, was it? No, it wasn't. We even gave them the chance to take us by surprise.
Okay, so yeah, so ultimately, it's very likely that the head guy was like, no, don't, like, clearly they're baiting you, don't even risk it. We need all resources in order to slay Serie. That makes sense. Let's see.
You seem to be somewhat on edge, Mr. Frieren. I'm surprised you aren't, Fern.
That is true.
Well, I admit that I'm worked up. I honestly don't know why we didn't notice.
What's happening?
There are 2 people who are such a threat to the Imperial capital that we can't afford to overlook them. One of them is the Shadow Warrior Commander, the only one we don't have the name or description of, which we know is the priest. The other one has been watching us this whole time. This person has been watching everything going on in the Imperial capital. Speaking of which, Mr. Frieren, you did mention that you sent someone watching over us ever since we got here. Serie's mono detection scanned the entire capital a few moments ago. Did you notice that? Not to the same degree as you, but it does feel like some powerful force has been onto us for some time. I feel uneasy.
Oh, it's her, right? That's the one who Mocked wanted to kill. And was like, hey, we need to give her backshots now. She will become a threat to Weiss. I promise you, bro. just let me go do it. Just let me take her life. And ultimately, the leader of Weiss said no. And ended up regretting that mistake eventually, because now she's an out of control monster of her own. But let's see.
Any other skilled mages will be feeling the same way. Still, if you take Serie's real power into consideration, you know it's far too blatant and obvious. I have no doubt that she did it on purpose.
Yeah. She easily could have done a better variation of that.
Serie is trying to pick a fight with the one person we haven't figured out.
The leader the leader of the Magic Special Forces, her. Let's see. Are you saying that who's been watching us? Are you saying that's who's been watching us? I don't know. There's a good chance, but I can't say for sure. That's how thin it is. Thin? Oh, the range of the mono detection? Okay. The mutual interference within the mono detection. I noticed it thanks to Serie's flashy move. A timid, yet accurate layer of mono detection that could disappear any moment Captain Fraiche surrounds the Imperial capital. Captain Fraiche, security arrangements for the ball have been going smoothly. Great work. I've spoken to the higher-ups. The Magic Special Forces have freedom of action. You can focus on accomplishing the mission without worry. Which mission, Fraiche? Which mission? Ooh. That's ruffling. Which mission, though? Let's see. May I ask what mission? Oh, look, even she's like, may I ask what mission you're talking about? Maintenance of the public order here in the capital during the festival. That is the mission you gave us. That's right. I did give you that order. Otherwise, there's no way blood-stained soldiers like us would even set foot in a glamorous ball. Do you have any issue with what the mission is about? No. Kanoe. Kanoe. The ball is a symbol of peace. You cannot allow the Shadow Warriors to interfere. I'm aware. Then let us talk about maintaining public order. Unforeseen events can happen at any moment. We must prepare contingency plans. Yes, we must. Let's see. It seems you're waiting for something to happen. You must have questions for me. What shall we do if this Magic Special Forces must engage in a fight with the Shadow Warriors? It's gonna be... Let's see. Murder is against the law of the land, except for those wielding force on behalf of the Empire. Then if something were to happen, you must punish the offenders according to Imperial law. Kanoe, I hope you make the right choices. It is all for the eternal prosperity of magic in the Empire. A W chapter. Okay, so wow, this is... So in this chapter alone, the battle just got more complicated and more deeper than I thought, and much more philosophical. So the Shadow Warriors are openly fighting for the liberation of the Empire from the ideals of magic, aka breaking the Empire away from what Serie / Flame ended up establishing it to be. The idea of a world full of magic where magic can be used at any cost by anybody. They want to break away from that, while the Magic Special Forces want to maintain that. While Serie is just trying to chill and have a good time and get into a fight. But a fight with who? Surely with Fraiche? I mean, I don't know. Maybe she is powerful enough. Presumably she is the one who's been casting that magical barrier, which is very impressive. That's a crazy feat. But I'm excited. So much is set up. This chapter is so gas. And this chapter is just titled Crease the Blacksmith. That's what this chapter is titled, but it gave us so much good character interactions, good character building, good reinforcement of things we already knew about characters such as Serie, characters such as Stark, characters such as Sai, and even new characterization for Guerrilla Warrior, further characterization for Werewolves. Frieren is just so peak. However, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave Blacksmith Warrior. Leave Blacksmith Warrior in the comment section down below. I did thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do want to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 more, the things like exclusive videos, and the content, and more. You also then become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions to whatever the series having to review, add to variations to all my videos, and becoming a $25 patron or a $25 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also, I have a link to my Ko-Fi screen down below, where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 20 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.
I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Brandon Payne, Glacier XE, and G Prosper. And then I'd like to give a big old thank you to our line art tier patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Igneo Lind, and A+A.
And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our Ink tier members, Fine, Austin Wimberly Euchia, and Yuki Alla. Then I'd like to give a big ol' gargantuan thank you to our digital art tier members, Jay Warrior and AZ Void. Then I'd like to give a big gargantuan thank you to our colored art tier patrons, Overlord Zero, Joaquin Munoz, and Item Okami. And I'd like to give a final gargantuan, supersized, sweet mother of mercy, that kidney will be yours one day, or the Black Myth video, whichever comes first, possibly both. That guy with a pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.